I wanted to talk a little bit about an unknown tax that many people don't know about until it's too late and they're already beyond the time they should have paid the tax, and now they're running into penalties and interest. It's the hidden tax that we'll talk about here in a moment. My name is Merrill Taylor. I am a CPA. I work with business owners to help them save money on taxes. We've helped people save anywhere from $10,000 to hundreds of thousands of dollars in taxes by using niche tax strategies that generally apply to people making $500,000 in income or more. So let's talk a bit about this hidden tax, kind of the stealth tax that's kind of hidden out there that people don't really know about until it's too late. And let's run a scenario. Let's say you're married, you have children, both you and your spouse work, you do really well, you make a good amount of money, but your children, you need somebody to watch them. So you hire a nanny to come and watch your children. The nanny comes to your home and takes care of your children while you're at work. And now you're paying this nanny to do the work, but you don't really think about the tax side of that. Well, there is a tax law, there's a tax rule for this. It has a specific name. It's often called the Nanny Tax. It has a name that goes along with it. And is what the Nanny Tax is that when you, at least for 2025, when you have a household employee, it doesn't have to be a nanny, it could be someone coming in doing your gardening, it could be someone coming in doing your house cleaning. When you have this household employee that's coming into your home and doing work, and you pay them $2,600 or more during the year, they are now considered a household employee. And as a household employee, you are required to withhold taxes on them. Payroll taxes and income taxes, state and federal. And so this is the stealth tax that people don't realize and don't know about, that you've been paying a nanny, you've been paying someone $2,600 or more, you haven't been withholding tax. So now we need to get that reconciled. Or if you're thinking of hiring a nanny, this is a tax that applies. So you as the employer, you have a responsibility to hold Social Security tax and Medicare taxes, federal unemployment tax, and state taxes as well, as we mentioned. And income tax withholding applies to that. This gets reported on Schedule H on your personal tax return. This is considered a personal employee of you. It is not a business employee. So if you hire someone to come to your home and watch your children or clean your home or do cooking or do whatever it is that they're doing inside your household, they are considered an employee of you personally, not as your business. These are not business deductions that we're talking about. And so you personally hire them. And so when you file your personal tax return, you put a Schedule H on that return to report the taxes that you withheld and paid on their behalf. The person that you've hired, your employee, would get a W-2. You get an employer identification number personally so that you could pay them and put that on their W-2. And you would make quarterly estimated tax payments for their taxes as well. The benefits of doing this is that you avoid penalties, because if the IRS comes and finds out about it, they're going to assess you all sorts of penalties. And legally, you could run into trouble too, because if they were to come and say, I should have been an employee, or if the IRS, let's say the IRS audits them and imposes penalties or something, then they could come after you and say, you were supposed to withhold all this. It could turn into trouble for you. So even though like you pay them in cash or whatever and you think it's not a big deal, if they get audited and then the IRS looks at their return and says, well, you should have been treated as an employee, the IRS could then come after you. So it's not just a matter of the IRS looking at your stuff, it's the IRS looking at their stuff as well. And by doing it that way, it's like we mentioned, it's not a tax deduction. But if it's for childcare, if it's a nanny, then there is currently a credit, a child care credit that you could take on your tax return, and that's helpful there. So the big thing here is that you just want to make sure that you're classifying people correctly. Now, let's say that you have a home cleaner that comes in and cleans your home, but they're also cleaning like other homes and they're working with other people, and maybe they come to your house once a week or once every couple weeks or something like that. That's probably not an employee level, because they're working for other people, they're bringing their own tools, their own equipment, they're working on their own time. There's a lot of classifications, and I would say look at the IRS site on employee versus independent contractor. Nannies are of the sort where they're probably more likely an employee because they're going to have to be there more frequently based on how their schedules work. They generally can't work for other people because they're just watching your kids during that time. And so nannies generally fall more into the employee category, whereas maybe a home cleaner can be more of a contractor, and you're not gonna fall into those rules. But yeah, you've got to watch out on how those are classified and how those work there. And so those are the kind of the overview, the important factors to weigh there. Hiring nannies, hiring people in your home, watch out for that nanny tax. And if you want more updates, make sure to go to our website, taxtutor.com, and subscribe to our weekly newsletter.